In this video, we are going to talk about how to get a job after completing USCMA. Now, before getting started, a quick disclaimer. If you are part of FinStreet Education family, which means if you are our student, then you have 100% placement assistance from our end. You do not have to worry about it. This video is mainly for those who have opted for self-study or whoever is studying with some other institute and they are actually struggling to get a job. This video is mainly targeted to them. This was one of the most requested videos in a lot of comment section. And I thought, why not let's, share some tips and tricks which can help someone land a job and take their career ahead. This was, interestingly, an additional request from my own team as well. My team mentioned that, a lot of candidates who have studied elsewhere, they are approaching us for job placements, but we are committed to our own students. We do not take external requests just for sake of placements that, we'll give you 1-2 certifications or hum placement kar denge. No, we are committed to our own CMA candidates. We train them over a long term and we make sure they are easily sellable in the market. Because end of the day, our placement team is nothing but a sales team. We reach out to different HRs and we try to sell our batch of candidates to them. We have successfully done it for our first 2 batches. Third batch is looking good in terms of getting placed and we want to continue that. But taking up external requests can hamper our own quality, our commitment, our goodwill. So that's why we are focusing just on in-house candidates. So with that context, let's get started on how to get a job after completing your USCMA. Now, before I start talking about the placement itself, I want to highlight one small prerequisite for those who are watching this video even before starting their USCMA. See, there are 2 parts to our overall program, CMA Part 1 and CMA Part 2. You can start with either part. But make sure that whatever add-on certifications you are taking up, add-on in the sense, there are a lot of certificates like Excel, Advanced Excel, Power BI, Tableau. These kind of certificates help you build profile and get placed. But make sure you're not pursuing them right at the beginning. Reason being, to pursue add-on certifications, you need some level of foundation. In this case, finance is your foundation. Once you learn finance, then you can use Excel application in finance, advanced Excel application in finance, or Power BI or even Tableau for analyzing financial data. If you don't have any foundation, then what are you even learning? Because learning just functions or formulas, that is not Excel. Having a business application of that tool actually makes sense. That brings actual value to your CV. So make sure that you are initially focusing on just one part. That could be CMA Part 1, Part 2, anything. And let's while preparing for next part, then simultaneously you can take up an add-on certificate to optimize time. But again, if you're someone who needs dedicated focus, कि एक time पे एक part ही करना है, I just want to focus on one part, then make sure you complete both the parts in one go and then focus on these add-on certificates. So with this, let's start talking about the placement part. See, now while talking about placement, there are 2 types of companies. One type is who recruits just from campuses. And these are usually the companies which are top notch. They offer fancy salaries. Even at a fresher level, they will give you 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 7 lakh. But unfortunately, this kind of packages are given only at campus level. So if you're, let's say, studying in tier 1 college or even a good tier 2 college, there's a good chance you can land a good package from these companies. But now let's come to companies which actually do off-campus hiring. And during off-campus hiring, usually the package given is in the range of 2.53 to 5 lakh rupees. And this is where you have a golden opportunity. The reason being, see, you can get direct access to a big company. The roles are decent. I wouldn't call it very good, but decent to give you initial exposure. Third thing, these companies are actually bridge between your current status and a big company. Because when we talk about a large institution which is actually giving out good salaries, other than on-campus hiring, they also do lateral hiring from peer companies or their competitors. So this is a bridge where I ask a lot of candidates to target certain companies where you can gain 1 or 2 years of experience and then make a switch to a fancy level, fancy role, fancy salary. So let's talk about these companies now. See, these are companies usually like Wipro, Northern Trust, Espista, Syngenta, Cinecron. I stay in Pune. I have a good hold over the Pune market. So I'm talking about companies major in Pune who hire a lot of off-campus candidates. So these are the companies which you can target to start with. Now, before going ahead, I have a message for you. I'm on a mission to build India's #1 institute for USCMA. So if you're someone who's planning to pursue USCMA and want to be part of our success story, want to give me a chance to build your career, then do consider FinStreet Education for pursuing USCMA. Here, the learning is based on real-life applications, case studies. Secondly, there is a dedicated student success manager who will track your progress. And third, the placement model is inspired by IIM Lucknow's placement structure. So placement mentorship plus placement assistance will be taken care by our team. So if you want to pursue USCMA and have any queries around it, you can visit our website to book a call with our experts. Or if you want to join our next batch, you can directly call this number and book your seat. See you in class. What should be your approach? Number 1, make sure you have a top-notch CV. And believe me, CV is the most important thing in this process. Reason being, it's a mandate. Think of a player who can play cricket really well, but if you don't have the required gear, if you don't have pads, helmet, elbow guard, a good bat, then how can you go and perform? You won't be allowed to step into the stadium. Similarly, if you don't have a good CV which is very well aligned with what's required in the market, your CV won't be shortlisted, and once your CV is not shortlisted, you won't get an interview. Once you won't get an interview, then of course you won't get the opportunity. So first thing is get your CV in place. Preferably use a B School, classic B School format. I have released some videos on how to make a CV where I've given you an overview, but let me just repeat this one more time. There are 4 sections you need to highlight in your CV. First one is academics. Second one is just certifications and extracurricular. Third is your experience or projects. If you have some internship experience, you can highlight that. If you have some classroom or college level projects, you can highlight those. And lastly, you can highlight some POR. POR is nothing but position of responsibility. So throughout your college days, if you had any club, committee, secretary, president type of role, or if you took up any leadership role in your life, you can highlight that. And lastly, outside your academics, if there are any extracurricular, you can mention those. So to summarize, top you have academics, then you have certifications, and academic related extracurricular is also fine. Then you have projects or internship, then you have position of responsibility. These are 4 major sections. Beyond this, if you have any other than academics extracurricular activities, you can mention those. Once you're done with your CV, coming to the next part, that is how to apply for your job. Now there's a 30-minute dedicated video highlighting how to target companies, how to go on their career portal, where to apply, how to upload your CV, how to update your details. I'll mention that link in the description. But in this place, I want you to focus on one major thing. See, whenever you're applying to companies, you need to shortlist them properly. You cannot just blindly pick any company and keep on applying. Usually, US CMAs work in FP&A, control, F&A, risk management, corporate finance, consultancy, but related to majorly due diligence roles. So these are some roles which first you need to shortlist. Now, as per those roles, which companies have them in India? If you're targeting Mumbai, then which companies have them in Mumbai? If you're targeting Gurgaon, which companies have these roles in Gurgaon? Such kind of questions should be asked. Accordingly, you need to make a shortlist of 20 companies, 30 companies daily. After shortlisting these companies, first you try for referral, second you try on the career portal, third you try for cold emails, fourth you try for any other method outside the book which you can think of. But usually these 3 methods work really well. This is something again I've mentioned in the video that I've linked in the description. Once you're done with this step, and also just to highlight, a lot of candidates take this step lightly. I'll give you reality check in this. See, as a candidate, somehow you have the motivation to study 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day, and you complete your CMA, and you think job's done. This company will line up outside your house, outside your college, wherever you are, and they'll offer you a job. That's not the story. Completing CMA is the beginning, not the end. It is just the beginning. Now you have CMA. Now you have some value. Now you can go and sell yourself in the market as an employee, as a talent, and get some value for it. So this is where actually you have to put same level, if not more, but same level of efforts. So if you're spending 3 hours on studying every day, you should also spend 3 hours on applying for jobs every day. If you are taking up self-study, if you're taking up, this responsibility on yourself, that's the level of commitment you need. Even when we provide placement assistance, we have our placement coordinator who's working 8 to 10 hours a day, just revising your CVs, making sure we're applying to 10 different places, getting a response from them, feedback from them, getting up tie-ups, reaching out to different people who will bridge us, help us, referral, n number of things. So it's a daily job. You have to spend 3 to 4 hours applied. And secondly, for how long? Minimum 3 months, maximum 6 months. If you do this for 6 months, believe me, you will land at least 20 to 30 interviews if you are doing everything correctly, as I've mentioned. So that's the second check. Now, once you've started applying through, let's say, referral, cold emails or career portal, 3 to 6 months you will start getting response from them. Now, once you're done with all this, coming to the last step where you get a response from a recruiter and you also get an interview shortlist. Here you have to be very careful. You get limited opportunities, make sure you nail it. Reason being, first, I have seen candidates making unreasonable demands to recruiters, so they lose their opportunity right away. Secondly, they are not ready for the interview. I've seen so many candidates. I'll tell you one spot story. There was a mentee who's in touch with me since 2019 from Kolkata. She interned in one big organization. She has completed a CMA through scholarship, and she recently wanted a switch. So she applied to again another big organization, type 1 or tier 1 organization which pays fancy salary and fancy level. She reached out to them, she got an interview shortlist. She somehow performed at an average level, not extraordinary. Now when I took her mock interview, I somehow couldn't feel that confidence in her voice. And last minute I cannot give this feedback that, hey, you're not articulating your answers well or you're not performing well. But this is the major part. Once an opportunity shows up, you should be ready 120% for that opportunity. For that, make sure you are giving mock interviews, you're taking feedback, you have articulated each and every potential or possible question out there, and you are ready. You are completely ready for any opportunity that comes your way. This is the most critical part of the step. Because think of a batsman who's scoring 99 and getting out. you're not getting a century, and when you walk away with 99, that will stay with you forever. She has interviewed for, I'll tell you even the organization name. She interviewed for which is one of the most sought after companies, and she was so happy, so excited, but when she couldn't convert, I could feel that burden in her voice. She said, "Bhaiya, I'm not understanding what I should do. 2 हफ्ते हो गए, कुछ response नहीं आ रहा है." And that's the hard truth. So again, all 3 steps are very important. First is you get your CV in line. Second is make sure you're applying in a proper way. Third is make sure you're ready for the interview. Once you follow these all 3 steps in a circular way, in a cyclical way for next 3 to 6 months, you will definitely land a job in fine. I hope this video helps you. If it does, do press the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, then do subscribe. As usual, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.